I'm going to start off by saying that I do like the cover for Absolute Wonder Woman #4. I think the cover looks pretty badass. She there with the red eyes and stuff with his sword stabbed into this thing. Whenever you see jets flying around behind her there, and the look everything looks pretty freaking badass. I will admit the cover looks really good. But you know, the last issue that I reviewed for this, I was like, okay, her literally self-mutilating herself and cutting off her own arm was pretty freaking disturbing. Yes, they're trying to play the first why she got to go pretty freaking disturbing. But it was a wow factor, so I could admit, okay, yes, it did shock when it's that one coming, okay. But then they got to come back with issue #4 and let's screw it all up and start the crap again. Because that's supposed to happen. So let's dive into this one before we get bogged down too long. So it starts off again in Gateway City. And as you know, last time around, in order to stop the Tetracide, I mean, we call this big bug-looking thing, Wonder Woman performed a spell to make the entire city deaf because, well, temporarily. Because if people can't hear this song that this thing emits, they won't go running straight to it to get killed. Because apparently it emits some kind of song, and when people hear it, it controls them and they all run towards it and it kills them. So she made this song to make everybody deaf, right? Which, you know, I will admit is a decent enough plan, but I don't know, kind of ridiculous, but whatever. So it's a decent enough plan. All right. So you see now, she and Steve Trevor go to see these two black women. And of course, it's Etta Candy and her sister. Because ever since they decided to race swap Etta Candy, they apparently never decided to change back on that idea. So they've re-swapped her here again. Because God forbid you just create a new black character and done. This is supposed to be in a completely different universe. You could do that. But no, let's do this or whatever. So they go to see her, right? And Wonder Woman is there with a mechanical prosthetic arm and all this stuff. Actually, the art, I really do dig the art with stick, honestly. So they're there coming there with Wonder Woman and stuff, and she's telling them, don't worry about it. She put a protective spell against them, so the thing that's making the song, they won't be affected and all of that. Okay. So the reason why they're there is because Wonder Woman asked Steve if he knew any witches. And he was like, yeah, sure I do. So he took them. So he took her to see them because apparently these two black women are witches, or one of them is a witch or some kind of madness like that. I don't know. So Wonder Woman is there because she needs to get some ingredients, right? She needs to get some ingredients. And here's the stupid part. She says, you see, to fight this creature, I really do need my arm back. The prosthetic is a powerful weapon I forged in fire by Hephaestus himself, but it is no match for what it replaces, and what I face is perhaps beyond me, even at my best and strongest. So Attack and these sisters, they're like, arms are good to have. So then why did you chop off yours? You understand me? Why? You literally come in here and say, you know what? You need your arm back to fight. But apparently she had this magical arm and that's what's going on. All that the other way with it. But if you needed your arm all along through this, why did you mutilate yourself to begin with? You're trying to tell me there was no other spell to use to get Steve out of hell. And once again, we still don't know how he ended up in there. Why was there nothing like that? We don't know. You shouldn't tell me that you had no other spell you couldn't use to send him back other than you literally mutilating yourself. Come on now, man. That is absolutely freaking ridiculous. I know you're there about how Um, I really do need my arm back. Why did you do it when you were literally in here with like a bunch of monsters trying to kill you, and you couldn't just capture one of them and sacrifice that thing and send him home? Come on, that would know you mutilate yourself. You understand me? Have a prosthetic arm that you made, and another community says, you know what? I really need my magical arm back because having 2 hours to go, but why did you freaking cut off yours? Tell you, boy, I could, let me tell you, boy. All right. I don't know. I getting the feeling from this book that Etta Candy might be a lesbian. They did make that change, so but it might be a because she says to Steve, remember all the times I mercilessly teased you about Diana and how she couldn't possibly be all that you were describing, and he views it vividly, and he's yeah, you understood, and he will told you. We don't know why he ended up in hell. We don't know how these two are friends or anything like that, but apparently we're not supposed to ask those questions. So she wants a bunch of ingredients, and his sister gets what she has and all of that stuff there, and then bring it to her, all of that. And she needs all of this to perform this ritual to get her magical arm back, and apparently it's going to be very bloody. So she gets blood from them, covers her face and back of her body in it, and starts praying to Hecate to the give any power and all of that. And then this bolt of magic lightning comes down and all of that. We get this flashback to the Wild Isle and Circe having visions, and then you see Hecate shows up there floating above and all of this, and something she goes about how she had visions of the future, what's going to happen to Diana and all of that, whatever. So Wonder Woman completes her ritual covered in blood. You understand me? And gets her magical arm back again. Why did you cut it off in the first freaking place? I have no idea. She comes out there covered in blood. Thank you, my friends. My strength is fully returned. I owe you a debt, and it will not be forgotten. Ay, 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 boy. Eh. So yeah, she's just covered in blood there, or all of that and whatnot. And then she decides she's going out to go and fight the Tetracide. Okay, she goes out there, and then to see the city is on fire. Why? Because when the thing was emitting this song and nobody came running directly at it to die, it decided, you know what? I'm going to go into the city and get the people, because apparently nobody was smart enough to think this thing was going to move. It can move, you saw it move, but you figured it was just going to stand there humming along, waiting for people to show up, and not just decide, you know what, screw this shit, I'm going to go get my lunch. That was, I mean, like, okay, so she goes out there now, sees it there. And the thing about it, one thing I don't get in regards to this, she has a flying dead horse called Pegasus, but she can also fly. It would be one thing if she could make like magical footholds so she could run on it. But if you're already flying, why do you even need the horse? You understand me? Why do you even really need the horse? So I don't know, that's part of it. But then it gets even dumber at this point, because she needs to take out this thing. So she summons back her sword, her big sword, she summons it back. Okay. And then she uses some a next magical item, smashes it, and it starts to hear people screaming and all kind of thing. And this lures the tetracide back. Okay, because it's looking for food, it's hearing people screaming, it's coming to see what's going on. And then Wonder Woman, in her infinite wisdom, figures out exactly how she's going to defeat this tetracide. The same thing she was talking about for the last two issues, saying she can't defeat it with all her power. She might not be able to. You all need to run. She doesn't know how she's going to do it. It's so powerful. It's death itself. Everything she's saying. What does she do? What is her big solution? What is her big solution to fighting this thing? She makes her sword big. Like, it was already big. She makes it massive then. Literally makes a sword massive. And yes, if you think you know where this is going, you're right. She then flies up in the air with the sword, has Pegasus shoot some fire at it, and then uses the big sword to cut the thing in half. That was it. That was it. This is what you couldn't do all this time. You understand me? She literally cleaves it together. Look, I don't know. Maybe it's dead. Maybe it's coming back. Maybe it's regenerated. But you know, if it really is dead, it really is dead. That was your big solution. Make your sword gigantic and cut it in half. The same thing you were talking about. How oh, it's death itself. It's coming. Nobody could stop it. Run. You all together in the city. I can't do anything. But you just make your sword big and cut the thing in half. So let's go through what we learned in this issue. One, she chopped her arm off years ago, but then now needs the arm to do it. So your magical arm, you clearly need two arms. Why did you self-mutilate yourself? I don't know. It was supposed to be some kind of big heroic thing, but then you freaking need it because if you don't have it, you were dead. So, I mean, that's the first thing. That's the first thing, right? Secondly, you could fly, so you don't really need the flying horse, but you have the flying horse. I don't know why, but you have it. Okay, fine. And then after an entire two issues of telling everybody you need to run for your life, death is coming, you can't stop it, it's absolutely terrible, nothing could be done, she mightn't even, with all her power, be able to stop it. What does she eventually do? Make her sword big and cut the damn thing in half. That is it. That's really it. This is the level of stupidity that we get when it comes to this. I think every time you say, well, okay, this happened in the last issue, all right, no, they're going to follow up with this nonsense. Ay, ay, ay. I give this issue of Absolute Wonder Woman #4, I will give this one a 1.3 out of 5. This is just ridiculous. The art still looks terrible, but all of this is just clear point that you have no idea what the kid you're doing. Why you chop your arm off in the first place? I don't know. You understand me? When you clearly need it. And now, the big death-bringing worm insect thing, or whatever you want to call it, that you were claiming you couldn't beat, your whole thing was just to make your sword big and cut it in half. Yeah, you already thought that one through. You know what? You all like the video? You hit that thumbs up. I'll see you all next time. Take care.